All right, welcome back to another episode of Just Kicking It. Me and my man B are back. We are back, man. Man, what's going on, man? We are in the middle, the beginning of all the leagues back. This is the shortest turnaround we've seen ever.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's like all gas, no brakes. Here we are again. Premier League is back. Like a national holiday, man. I didn't tell my lady, listen, gotta shut it down. I'm watching the games right now. As soon as the game's over, back to your attention. But right now, man, just happy for the game to be back, man. So much going on, so many new storylines. I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because now, like even like college football and stuff like that, like even NFL, like I'm just like, it don't feel like it should be here. You know what
It
I'm
all
saying?
feels
Like,
a little different, man. All of the seasons, trying to keep up with the TV schedule. Like, man, I've never used my guide more than I am now because I'm like, now who then you got the tennis going on, so much going
yep,
on, man. It's incredible, man. So I mean, we completely went to no sports for a minute. Now it's kind of like sports overload.
yeah. We got NBA final, NBA conference finals is coming up. You got by the time the NBA finals is gonna be over, Champions League is gonna be starting. Like,
Exactly.
so it's like, and you already like
Right.
there is no, because remember before, and I wonder if league's gonna figure out that they need to take that baseball time, that little them dead days and them 2 months of dead days. Like, we may need to reorganize our schedule and take that money, that baseball signal where you just like them dead days of summer.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a major change for all the different sports, but I feel like I like the tradition. As the
Yeah.
seasons change, the sports roll around. But yeah, man, it's back, man, baby. Your team, they're giving you guys in Manchester City a little bit extra time, a little bit of a
Yeah,
extra
yeah, we need a
break.
week off. We need a week
You
off because
know,
we had
but
to we had to go far in some tournaments.
okay, that's
Just a
fair.
couple of tournaments. Just a couple
That's
of
fair, but I
tournaments.
just wanted to point that out, a little extra race, extra
Yeah,
rest. You know what I mean? What is
yeah. I
that
mean,
load management, right?
yeah, man. So first off, man, we got a couple of emails from folks, man. Like, dude, man, last episode, we a lot of like we downloads is crazy on the audio side, man. So let's jump right in here though, man. This one comes from RT. He says, love the last episode. You all really dive into a lot of depths of the Messi debacle and how it'll be looking going forward. But do you see any situation where you would see a player like a Messi transform teams like you would saw a Kevin Durant, a LeBron James, etc., moving teams in the soccer leagues as much as you see in the American basketball, baseball, football leagues?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, we saw that with Ronaldo. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Ronaldo twice.
Oh yeah.
Went from Manchester United to Real and then Real
Yeah.
to Juventus. So we saw
Yeah.
him go twice.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one. Absolutely. We're going to continue to see that happen. Some of these leagues are feeder leagues, developmental leagues, and these other ones are, you know, sitting up top, cherry picking the best talent around the world. I think we're going to continue to see that. And actually, as a lot of these teams are starting to get new ownership, cash infusion, I think you're going
Mm-hmm.
to see even more teams splashing cash to really get some talent.
All right. Next one up is from PPT. He says, do you all see a lot more American ownership in the leagues over in Europe because of the money and the easiness they've seen over this time of COVID?
Ooh. Hmm.
I mean, we get the Glazers own my squad. They own the
Uh-huh.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, you what you call owns Arsenal from Kroenke
Uh,
owns Arsenal.
Yep. And then the Red Sox ownership, they own who do they got?
Did they
I
own
believe
Tottenham?
Liverpool.
Liverpool, right?
Liverpool. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Liverpool.
That's right. Liverpool. So
And then you have Man City with the oil money coming from the Middle East.
yeah. I
I mean,
think
I guess both of them you got to really look, because don't get it twisted. Somebody in Dubai might be like, I'm gonna go and cop Tottenham real quick and,
um
and throw some
I
money at
I
them.
I think that's interesting. The other thing that's another area of money that's coming to really start to impact these teams, I think, is telecommunications money. Because you got that
Mm.
Nigerian billionaire. He's
Because
big
he's
in
trying to buy you guys, right?
No, he was trying to buy. He was trying to
Arsenal,
buy Arsenal.
right?
He was
Arsenal,
trying to buy
right?
Arsenal. which I think would be great. I think he's Nigerian, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
he is. Yeah. I remember just reading
And
it.
then, one of the top 5 wealthiest guys, the Mexican billionaire, he's in telecommunications. He's been talking about buying a European club.
Does he
So
own a team in Mexico now? Like something in
I think he owns
Liga
a few
X?
different teams in Mexico right now.
So he owns like a couple of teams in the same league. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's big. You know what I mean?
And they don't have no thing of like you can own multiple teams in Liga X.
No, and I think he owned a couple like in Colombia.
Okay.
All through Central America. So he's been splashing the cash, but I think he wants to.
That prestige of sitting in that box.
Exactly, man. Talking to them oil sheiks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I'm saying you sitting in that box and you know what I mean, at Old Trafford or something like, hanging out like
shooting the shit on a different level, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With a different type of money. So I can see how that could fit, it makes sense,
Yeah, last email we got in the quick hidden emails. This one comes from Black is Black. He said, I can't believe his brothers are talking about soccer at this high level. How do I pick a team?
Wow, man. That's a tough one. I always say a team picks you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I just remember, like, my soccer coming of age was right around, the early 90s when my folks was getting cable. Where we consistently had the legitimate cable channels.
Not through somebody next door.
Or it's the bootleg box, and it'll be good for a minute, then it'll go out on you. You know what I mean? But no, man, it was really about the team that I would see the most often. And then I started to dive into who their players were and the coaches, and starting to understand the personalities and being able to connect them to a lot of the teams and things that I was familiar with pro sports in the States. And so that's kind of how I gravitated to Chelsea. So I always say the team picked me versus, me picking a team.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess it's kind of your style. And me being a Manchester United fan goes against everything I believe in for U.S. sports teams. I'm not going to front. Like, I'm not a legend. I'm not a, traditionalist legacy kind of. But I'm a Cardinals fan. We both Cardinals fans. So I guess, but that's where we from. So I guess it's different. Like I'm always interested in somebody that becomes a New England Patriots fan, but they're from Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess in general, the way my style goes, I guess I probably would have been a Liverpool fan previously or Everton or somebody where it's like, yo, we just going to grind it out. But no, I want to get some
The other thing is it's not – I'm sorry to cut you off, D.
No, go ahead.
The other thing is not flip-flopping. Like, once you do set down some roots, man, it's for better or for worse. If the team gets relegated, if they go down, if they don't, if they spend money in the offseason, if they don't spend no money in the offseason.
Got it right.
You take the pros and the cons. I mean, that's part of the fun. That's part of the ride.
I would tell them also look at the top 10 in the division. Does it go in a bracket and look at the top 10 and kind of choose from there? If you go to the bottom, you look in the regulation potentially.
Hey, but some people like that, roll the dice, or perhaps you have a favorite team in another sport that's like, let's say you from Pittsburgh and you a Pirates fan. I mean, like,
but the Pirates have made the playoffs at least, though. When is the last time you seen? I'm trying to throw somebody Sheffield make the top 4. Or not even go to Europa. I'm talking about top 7.
Yeah, some teams just are perennial losers.
That's what I'm saying. And look, and then don't go into the other leagues. We're talking particularly about Premier League now.
Yeah.
Don't go into the other leagues where you're talking about the top 4 is solidified before they roll the balls out.
Yeah. Where you start talking about half a century, 120 years since.
I mean, come on, Getafe. When is Getafe going to win the league?
Man, ever? You probably won't see it in our lifetime. You know what I mean?
We'll die.
Yeah.
And if it happens, we gonna die. Like, literally, like that's one of the 7 seals of the apocalypse is like a Getafe winning, or you go into a Bundesliga.
You never say never, man, because you look at baseball.
I mean, Leicester City won our shit one year.
Exactly.
Recently, in the last 10 years.
Look how long the Cubs went, in baseball.
That's true, and we are in a different. We went the Mario Jannetty Back to the Future car, and we didn't change up some stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're teams. I mean, the Blues won the NHL Stanley Cup. Man.
Exactly.
Maybe what? Maybe that's only U.S. sports. They ain't went to the DeLorean yet in Europe.
But sometimes it happens. I mean, in the Premier League specifically, it's a little bit harder.
But it's way more competitive though. That we're talking about La Liga or Serie. What Juventus has won like 13 years in a row.
Yeah.
Bundesliga, Bayern Munich has won like 12.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's true, but I mean, still some of the other leagues, the Scottish leagues.
Okay. Now you're trying to say somebody up for being in the MAC.
mean,
you're trying to put them in the MAC conference. You're trying to put them in Western Michigan.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You're trying to get them to automatic bid. Hopefully, you can get in there.
I mean, Europe is a big place, man. So just depending on where you fall.
Yeah, I'm not trying to send nobody to Wales conference. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man, but some people love that perennial loser, that dark horse, is going to be a unicorn. It's going to take something super special to, make a splash. And so they got to have fans too, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you go back 2 episodes ago, we talked about comparing NBA teams to Premier League teams. That's a great index for you all. If you want to get any, because I'm going to tell you do the English Premier League because you're going to be able to get those games here in the state. If you're in the U.S., you're going to be able to get them games. You'll be able to see every one of your teams between NBC regular, NBC Sports Network, and Peacock now for free.
Yeah,
you're going to be able to see every team. You'll be able to see every team play.
It's going to be easier. But sometimes you still do have the conflict with the time.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get up early.
Multiple games going on at the same time, so now you got to pick and choose.
And La Liga's going to ESPN though too. And La Liga's going to ESPN. So I mean,
that'd be cool too. And then I'm watching most of it on Dish. They always have one channel that's got multiple. That's got the
on Dish. On Dish they have kind of the Red Zone kind of thing,
but it's not complete. So whatever the different NBC network games are that are going on at the same time, then they'll show those on one channel, kind of in split screen.
Okay. Oh,
but
wow.
It's not the same experience where you're just, watching one game.
Where you're focused in on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Let's dive into it, man. Premier League has started, man.
It's back, baby. It's back,
man. Liverpool, Leeds, man. Look, Leeds is a thorn in Manchester United's side. People that got stabbed, literally. Between people have died between Leeds and the whole thing between Leeds and Manchester United. They're back. This is the first time they've been back in the league in 14 years.
Yeah,
and they went down to League 3 at one point.
Yeah, and
keep in mind, in 2001, they were in the semifinals of the Champions League. And that's something I want to ask you before we even go farther. You deep into the game. How did Leeds go from being in the semifinals of the Champions League to down to Division 3?
It's one of those things where they were very talented at that point, had some really good players, but then the team, ownership-wise, fell on some financial hard times. So they sold all the talent that got them to that level in those tournaments to continue to bankroll the team. And then it just got to a point where now you have to bring in lesser players and younger players, which, typically leads to inconsistent results, right? Points-wise. Next thing you know, you've fallen through the divisions. But, I mean, talk about Leeds, Liverpool, 2 incredibly huge clubs, huge history. I mean, think Boston Red Sox and Yankees, literally hundreds of years of history. Die-hard fan bases, and I mean, for those Leeds fan, man, it's got to be amazing. I feel kind of bad. Back to the Premier League. Now they can't even travel in person, but still back in the Premier League, man. And what a shootout, man! Just an incredible game, back and forth, high scoring. That's a good game for somebody introduction.
And it put everybody on deck for Leeds, though. I know everybody's like, okay, all right, y'all a different look on this schedule now.
Absolutely, man.
Fulham dropped that egg against Arsenal. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, Fulham was not ready for Arsenal. But Leeds, I agree with you. Leeds is going to be a problem.
Yes.
You better bring,
they're going to be the Sheffield United this year, I feel like.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man, because they got speed. They got strong guys. They got smart, creative players. I mean, I really like what they
And I think Rodrigo didn't even play.
Right. Exactly.
They kept him out because he just transferred. They kept him out.
Right. I think he actually got in towards the tail end of the game.
Okay, so but he's a starter though. It was more of a thing let's bring you in to kind of fill you in, but he's a starter.
I definitely, I mean, it's very early on, but I predict they stay up. I don't think they're going to yo-yo. I
Yeah,
think they're
no,
going
no,
to
no,
stay
no. I
up.
mean, the one that's going to go down is Aston Villa. I think they're the one that's. I mean, they barely. I mean, they sat there. Them and West Ham had a handshake situation, I guess, in that last game. Like, yo, let's just go and get this tie. We both good.
Right. I definitely would think they'll be towards, fighting to stay up. But yeah, man, Leeds is legit.
Is Liverpool D? I mean, like Van Dijk was like he went. It felt like he went to the club or something.
Well, I know, Van Dijk, he scored a goal, and then
Yeah, and then one was on the offsides that he should have had on the offsides joint.
and then one was his fault. I mean, you don't let balls bounce in the box as a
Yeah,
defender. You just don't let balls bounce in the
yeah.
box, and he did that. So he put his goalkeeper in a very tough spot. So I definitely got to blame him on that. But it's the first game of the season, man, and I guess it's all well that ends well. They came out on top.
I mean, but you got to go back to the Community Cup though the week before
Yeah.
with them and Arsenal. They couldn't get it
Yeah.
done as well.
And I heard some people talking about that. The Community Shield, is it a trophy? Is it
No, it's
not?
not a real trophy. I'm just looking at the play on the field. I'm not talking about the trophy.
Okay.
I'm talking about the actual game. It could have been just them scrimmaging. And
Yeah,
I'm just saying like how, yeah. And I'm saying, and like they should have, and it seemed like they were in like neutral that whole game.
Well, I mean, what do you think? That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Maybe that's a good segue,
Yeah.
looking at Liverpool. They didn't spend a whole lot of money this offseason. Is there a hangover or a fatigue after you win the trophy? I mean, you're fighting so hard to win this trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You win it. Now it's year 2. Maybe you kind of, hey, I'm just going through the motions. We did everything we needed to do. Are these guys focused on their next payday? How do I profit off of now I'm a Premier League winner?
And because they got about, it's no way they can keep all these contracts at some point. You got 7 guys that are, get that check.
Yeah, big money. And then there's not a whole lot of competition for places. So, I'm a Premier League winner. It ain't really nobody behind me that's going to take my job. So.
And you're not going to bring nobody behind me because if you bring somebody behind me, I'm going to take it personal.
Exactly.
I'm going to take it personal. Like, so you going to pay him 20 mil and you could have dumped 10 that on me?
Right.
And then you got Sane's coach from Senegal, right?
Yeah, he is.
That he was like, Sane can't win. He's like, he been telling it. Remember that article when we first started the show?
Yeah.
And he was like, I told him he ain't going to be able to win player of the year if he's staying there with Salah.
Yeah. I mean, they eat the same kind of food. They're really almost the same kind of player. Effort,
they have 25 goals. He says 50 goals really if you have one guy.
I mean, and they're deadly together. You know what I mean? Like even some of the link up play in that first game, man. Just how the mental connection those two players have, bouncing the ball back and forth, creating opportunities. Good stuff.
Is it true is that true that they have like kind of a beef or something? Like, I mean, are you reading the tablet?
Well, yeah, I think
so. Or is that just a thing just because they both got 25 goals one season? We gotta figure out something.
I think it's like a pack of dogs or a pack of wolves, man. Like you're gonna have 2 or 3 guys that feel like they are that dude, and they're gonna bicker and bump heads. And if they not both firing on all cylinders, then they start to get in their feelings, and that'll be reflected on what you see on the field. But I think it's a good competition.
Yeah, I agree.
For one to be top dog.
Because I think Liverpool and Bayern is the future of where soccer's going.
Yeah.
Because previously we watched, you got Messi up front, or you got Ronaldo up front, or you got your striker up front. He is the man, and we're gonna all feed him. And if he's not eating, we ain't gonna win. Now people are running 7 deep now. Like Liverpool showed you can run 7 deep. Bayern showed you can run 7 deep.
I agree. Both of those teams. It's not about the big, strong central striker anymore. Mm-hmm. It's about a lot of talented, quick, fast, highly skilled guys where the attack can come from anywhere and can come in. A lot of these guys can combine to create opportunities. And that's what I see in Liverpool and Bayern Munich, where in the past has been the big, strong target man, put the ball in the hand, like you say. If he's on, he's on. If he's not on, he's not on. But
maybe we can get something from the midfield, somebody come in from a midfield, long joint. If it come off a rebound, I got it. But we gonna put it all into Ronaldo. Like basically, Ronaldo's really he's basically the Tim Duncan of soccer, because he's like the last of like the traditional big man.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy, definitely. And that's important, man. You know, the game evolves, man, and you seeing that in the score lines too. You know, opening day of 4-3 game. You know, that's a reflection of that.
Yeah, so I mean, we also had Arsenal just getting into Fulham, man. Is Fulham the one that had to do with the free kick from damn near midfield? Is that one in the relegation game?
Yeah. That
and
is.
Then he scored. That was a defender, and then he scored again right after that on a breakaway.
Yeah, you know, Arsenal.
That goal was one of the sickest goals I've seen in a long time, though. That
was some wild shit. I definitely remember that. That was wild.
And that was an extra time too. That was an extra time.
That's the way to end the game. But Arsenal looked good, man. A lot of attack, a whole lot of attack.
I mean, your boy William was out there. He was dropping dimes.
He does what he does, man. And I did see even in our game, the Chelsea game, I saw some free kicks and some situations where he would have been on the ball where we're gonna miss him. But and Arsenal, our loss is Arsenal's game, and I saw him. He whipped some dangerous balls into the box.
Yeah, he almost had that free kick too. Yeah. He almost had that free kick too. That should have went and hit the post.
He's deadly on free kicks, absolutely.
But as we talked about earlier, they're kind of are they like the Lakers when they had everybody that was old on there? Where it was like we just gonna try to kind of just veteran you out, and like we just gonna bring out Gary Payton and Karl Malone and.
I see them more like a current Houston Rockets.
So you said it earlier, right? Okay.
Yeah, all offense, no defense.
Yeah.
You know, like if we're gonna go into a shootout, yeah, Arsenal's. You know,
but Lens is dope though. Their keeper's dope. Lens is dope.
He is, but if it's a cold, wet, rainy, windy situation,
and you got Luis.
It's it's gonna be a 1-0 sort of game. I don't feel comfortable with those guys.
And you got Luis. Luis, when you may just want to throw an elbow on somebody's neck and get kicked out.
Oh yeah, man. You know he's a basket case. He's like a Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean? You just don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Brandon, who's an Arsenal fan. He said my other Brandon. He says that Gabriel coming in is gonna offset Luis and make him better.
I think so, and I think it fits, man. Now you got that Brazilian contention on that Arsenal team, so I think they're gonna be Samba and in the dressing room, and it's gonna work well, man. And they're gonna all be on the same kind of ESP wavelength. You saw it right out of the box, you know. So I think that's gonna work real well for them. Brazilians always tend to do well at Arsenal.
Yeah, no, they do. So I mean, staying in the EPL, man. Let's talk about these sleeper teams, man.
Yeah.
We have we got Leeds, Southampton, and Everton, man.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on Leeds, man. I mean, they can put the ball in the back of the net, and that's always the name of the game.
And nobody's got no tape on them. Like they kind of like
exactly. What's the scouting report?
Yeah, it's like being an NCAA tournament against back in the day when Gonzaga Gonzaga was popping. You like, okay, but they running out 3 6'10" dudes and shoot threes. Right. I didn't even know this was possible.
Right. No, that's a really good analogy on that. But yeah, they show no fear, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No fear. You know, none of that. Gingerly going into a 50-50 sort of. You know, man. They like, hey, we here to play. It don't matter who it is. You know, it's the same game. So I like to see that out of Leeds. Southampton. They lost to another London team.
CP.
Right. Crystal Palace. And even though they lost, I like what I saw from them. Talk about attacking style of play and that traditional Premier League sort of play. Long diagonal balls from the back over the top, pinpoint accuracy, and creating chances. They didn't put a whole lot of balls in the back of the net in that opening game. But I think over time, again, that's one of those teams where, like we were talking about last week, on a Wednesday night, on a Thursday night, on the South Coast, cold and windy, that's going to be a problem, and they'll steal 3 points from you, or they'll tie you up on a game you thought you were going to
get 3 points. You already marked that for your 3 points, and now you got a tie.
They'll steal that from you, or they'll keep somebody who should be in the top 4. Those are the sort of teams that'll keep somebody out of that top 4.
Like how Leicester City was an example with them as well last year. Them and Sheffield. shit, both of them popped them last year or tied them, and it's like, oh wow, okay. And then you look at their record. That's why they didn't make the top four.
Exactly. Yep. So I definitely see those sorts of teams as crapshoot games, trap games, on the schedule when you see those teams pop up.
And then we got Everton, man. Everton today, they just popped Tottenham today, didn't they?
They did, and I was happy to see that. Again, this rolls back right into last week. Liverpool with all their shine, Everton is right across the river. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see them kind of reload. They got a top of the line experienced coach in Ancelotti. And then they're splashing some money, which is not.
They are. It is low key money though. They're about a couple of dubs, sex. They, you know what I'm saying? They're about a couple of dubs, trying to get up to a brick. You know what I'm saying?
But they went ahead and did it this time, man. And return on investment straight away. Rodriguez coming over from Real Madrid, from via Bayern Munich. Him being in Premier League, it's always kind of interesting to see. Is it going to take a long time for these guys to settle and kind of click? But straight away, he hit the ground running, influencing games, bringing that attacking style, that flair, the skill set. And then, some of their other signings, that was the other guy we were trying to think of last week, Dakare.
Dakare, that's what we was trying to think of. Okay.
He's Senegalese as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He is that traditional box-to-box, steel strength, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to throw some people out of the way. He's going to be physical, hard to take the ball from him. And so he fits, man. He's like the perfect workhorse to go with the finesse guy in the Colombian Rodriguez. So I was happy to see that.
Yeah, man. It's interesting, man. And even staying just around that area, do you think, let's talk about Harry Kane, man, with Tottenham. Do we have a situation where we could see three top players, because I can see three top players being available this next transfer window? Because I can see Harry Kane being like, you know what, I'm gonna put my transfer request in.
We
go back and forth about Harry Kane. Is he legit? Like he looks like a white supremacist. Like him and Vardy. That's a part of my hate with him and Vardy. They look like they probably super cool if you kicking with them. They just look like they want to call you out your name. You know what I mean?
This is why I always say the Premier League is like soap opera for men. This is like a separate family in Bold and the Beautiful, right? Tottenham, they got their own three-headed internal problem going on, and it parallels your club, Manchester United. You got the incredible, successful, but nutcase propaganda, mental warfare coach in Mourinho. Yeah. He's won everywhere he's ever went, so you kind of allow him to do what he does.
And then he sets us back 3 years.
Harry Kane is supposed to be a top-notch Premier League goal scorer, international with England. He's supposed to be your white knight in shining armor.
He's supposed to win the doggone golden boot every year. He wasn't even Harry Kane ain't even 28 yet.
But
people keep forgetting Harry Kane is still in his mid-20s.
Don't forget the guy who traditionally sinks Tottenham from the inside out. He loves to destroy Daniel Levy, possibly the worst owner. The only owner I can think of that's worse than
he's
him.
Like the Arizona Cardinals owner.
He's more like the New York Knicks.
Bidwell.
He's more like the New York Knicks owner.
Oh, you think he's worse than Bidwell from the Cardinals?
Oh, Bidwell will give him a run for his money. The older Bidwell.
That's what the older Bidwell. I'm talking about Bidwell that left St. Louis. Bidwell.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he'd give him a run for his money. But
I heard that players had to pay for their own Gatorades. That's how gangster he was getting down for the Arizona Cardinals.
Son of a bitch, man. Yeah. He's not trying to hide it whatsoever. He wants to let you know, man, that he's going to win in any kind of negotiation and never take a loss. And so he always finds a way to keep Tottenham one piece away from going to the next level.
And keep people like egging on like, well, we just one player away. Like, so you constantly.
Then he rolls out, the brand new stadium that, now they spent a few billion on it. And now, obviously they're not capitalizing off that new stadium. So it's always a calamity of errors with this club, man. But
so you said he likes drama so he can like say that's the reason why. Like, we're not good, though. We just bought a new stadium. I couldn't get no new players because I just bought the new stadium.
Bingo.
The next year when the players come in like, well, Harry Kane left. That's why we.
Exactly, man. Or somebody that they should sell and be able to make a profit off of to be able to do something positive with in the future. He always finds a way to bumble the deal, to screw up the deal at the 11th hour, which reminds me of your club, right? So you see the parallels. It's
No.
three different
This is
levels.
the difference, though. We get it happening. We just slow.
There's the errors being made in management, on the field, and the front office. So I mean, it's just a calamity of errors.
But I'm just saying. My whole point is, man, we still gonna get Jadon Sancho. I've sent him a love letter. You know what I'm saying? Letting him know. You know what I'm saying that. He's coming. He's coming. I'm not worried about it. Like every week, I don't have to really say it again. He's coming. I'm not worried about that.
Keep hope alive, man. Keep hope alive,
no, but real talk. There is real talk. Harry Kane could want to think about that. If Mpabbe, we can jump into the Mpabbe that's putting in saying like, "Yo, I'm out 2021." You have Messi talking about next year as well. Harry Kane is sitting there as well, and he was linked. They were rumoring him with Manchester United for a long time. This during COVID.
I've always, I'm gonna stick to my guns, man. I've always been out on Harry Kane. He's put in some good performances.
Man, but no, that last game we watched, where he literally probably should have 5 goals against Leicester City.
He always finds a way to screw up, be inconsistent, but when he's on, he's on. He always ends up, it seems like at the end of the season, you look at his numbers and it looks like he had a good season. But there's just it's never smooth clicking on all cylinders with that guy.
Are you holding a lot against him because when they run without him in the Champions League where they didn't even have him?
Well, yeah, I mean, things when I see that too, I'm like, you can really win without him. I don't think that he's an absolute we must keep him at all costs kind of player. I don't see.
Does Harry Kane stay in England though if he goes?
I think he has to because he's not technical enough. I don't think to really.
Could he go to Serie A though? Could he go to Serie A down in Italy?
I could see that. That's possible, but
like a AC Milan or something, picking him up. Or
I think he's still a little too young to make that move. I think he still gets some money in the EPL, and then another 3-4 years down the road, that next contract, Serie A is a good landing.
Well, who's gonna get him though?
He could be good replacement for Ronaldo by the time he's ready to go to Serie A.
No, I'm talking about the EPL. I'm talking about EPL if he left time.
I could like to see him go to an Everton. Think about that.
You think he would, man? I can see him looking at that like it's beneath him.
But I think that's kind of what the Premier League is telling him is that he needs to humble himself and go.
You're saying the opposite way. You're saying like you got it. You need to be like
a middle of the pack team. You're not a top 4 Premier League team striker. You're a Premier League player, but more a 8 to 12 club.
Wow, yeah. You talking about the man that just won the Golden Boot like 2 years ago?
But
this is a hot take. You got a hot take, Ray. This is a hot take.
I just don't see the consistency. It's a flash in the pan couple of seasons.
So would you say the same thing about? Would you say the same thing about Vardy? Because Vardy to me gets a whole bunch of junk goals.
Vardy, he will score a lot of goals because of his athleticism, the hustle, the engine inside of him. You see a lot of those breakaway goals. That's really him just outworking some guys. You know what I mean?
But he's not going to juke nobody. He's not going to give you the Abayame joint or somewhere. You was like, God damn.
But I feel, that's the difference. I feel like Vardy's more consistent. Vardy's going to put in a shift, and he's going to put in a shift. Harry Kane could score 2 or 3 goals, but he may not show up for 2 or 3 games.
Oh, you said he'll have some highlights where you're like, oh snap.
Right. But Vardy, this is what we're going to get from him.
He's going to give me a goal a game or a goal every other game at the minimum.
Exactly. But Harry Kane could go 3 to 5 games without giving you a goal.
And then drop a hat trick, and then you look, like you said, look at his stats in the year, and you like, oh, he scored 29 goals, but then you don't know that it was maybe 10 games where he really had 10 hat tricks.
Exactly. Bingo. That's truly how he is. And it's been that way for 3 years now, so that's why I don't feel confident and say as long as we putting his name on the team sheet, we're gonna win. I don't feel confident like that. No. But
Mm.
Vardy, I would. I say
What about
Vardy's
Son?
gonna get
What
us
about
the goal.
Son though? I really like Son from Spurs.
I like Son because he's hardworking and technical. He's doing a job to make other people's job easier, and he'll put the ball in the back of the net as well. So I
Yeah.
like him a lot.
So do you see this Everton win? You think this is something telling that we seeing?
I
Spurs
don't want to
forward?
get too high, too low on anybody.
Yeah, because it's the first game.
It's the first game, but I like what I'm seeing, man, because they definitely could have came out and been like, oh, we got a bunch of new guys. You know, everybody needs time to settle. We only had 3 practices, blah, blah, blah. No excuses, putting the ball in the back of the net, looking dangerous, going forward. You know, that's what I want to see, attacking style of play.
So this year, the Golden Boot, who do you see win the Golden Boot in the EPL this year, man?
Oh, man, it's a tough one, man. Tough. You know, Salah off to a good start.
You dropped 3 real quick. You went ahead of the pack off the top with 3.
Yeah, if he's going to be taking PKs, and I know,
and we're gonna talk about that in a minute.
Who knows how many opportunities he's going to have this
These
year.
PKs are getting ridiculous, but that's
it. Oh man, I'd already pull the hair out if I had any, man. Penalty kick. This officiating. This is incredible, man. Piss poor is the only way I can describe it, man. And you know, it's so funny watching these different games this weekend. I was already taking some notes, and I was going to say, hey, I like what I'm seeing from VAR. I actually like some of the officiating that I'm seeing. Did you see? I forget. It was one of the very first games. The official gave a red card. He went to VAR, reviewed the play, rescinded the red card.
Was that Arsenal? Was that Arsenal?
No, that was Southampton Crystal Palace.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was about to send off a Southampton player, and it was a close bang kind of play with the naked eye. But to go straight to the red card, I felt like was harsh. It wasn't. It wasn't.
But in general, if you go to the red card, you gotta know. Like you need to know. Like
you got to be.
He need to kick him in the back. He got to kick him in the back. Like,
and it was like halfway through the first half. You know what I mean? So we still probably had like 60 minutes left to go in the game. So it was way too early to be doing something like that. Now VAR got that right. And so that's what was motivating me to come to the show today and say, hey, I really like that. You know, he went and used the technology, because we've seen these last 2 years where if they called down from upstairs to the referee, he would review it. But the referees didn't want to say, let's stop play and I'm going to go make the decision to review it. And that's what we saw this time, is the referee said, I'm going to give him a red card, but I'm also going to call myself to go make sure I got it right. And when he realized he got it wrong and checked with upstairs for the help, they got the right decision at the end of the day. And that's what we all want.
Nobody wants
the right decision.
And I don't want nobody getting no red card for no bull, and then you sitting out there with 10 men on the field, and now you got an excuse about how y'all didn't win, and we down 10 men, and
it's one of those things, man, because I like VAR for red cards and fouls, but it's almost hard to get excited when the ball goes in the back of the net, because they want to review every goal, which I understand.
It'd be some beautiful stuff you'd be seeing. You'd be like, oh, snap.
You can barely react because you don't want to get too excited, because this could all come back, and then you don't really get to react and, cheer, because it's all, it's so herky-jerky. It's not, so what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I gotta remember, and with Greenwood, when he the game against Copenhagen, where he had both legs on it, and like I'm talking about like straight to the top corner, and it's super millimeters of offsides.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. It was the right call, but it was like, God, like that was kind of the flow of it. Like, man, you just took that beautiful goal out of everything. But at the same time, I do want it to be correct. Like, no, it was offsides.
Yeah, it's I think it's something they still trying.
But with those PKs though, we can talk about that. Man. I feel like every game has a PK now. And I'm talking not just EPL, I'm talking about La Liga, I'm talking about Serie A, I'm talking about Bundesliga. I feel like it's a PK every game.
Yeah, it's just like it's incredible, man. I mean, are they? Is it going to be like the official using his judgment, or are we playing to the letter of the law? Because I mean, there just can't be this many penalty kicks and so many late penalty kicks. Like I get it if it's early in the game or halfway through, but we're in the 88th minute, the 89th minute. You know,
You gotta
we're
let people play.
2 minutes.
You gotta let them play. Remember the whole thing, like let them play late in the
Let them
game.
play, man. You know, like I don't want the officials determining who's getting points and who's not getting points, man. And like that's how I felt happening in that Chelsea game. It was literally the 88th minute. You know, I'm excited. My team has had a
We
hell of
got
a
it.
day. New talent on the field. You know, the season is bright. It's nothing but up from here, baby. And then just like that, they still, 2 points from us, and it's a tie game instead of us getting 3 points and getting off to a incredible start, man, over the officiating. And then on that one, they really didn't go to the VAR like I thought they should have. I mean, it was almost one of those things where he should have let VAR make the call instead of him making the call and then going to VAR, because it was one of those situations where he says he can't find enough visual evidence
Evidence
to
to
overturn.
overturn, but like then it shouldn't have been called in the first place. Then if you're
That's what I'm
kind of
saying.
in between.
Yeah, you don't blow the whistle and then you let upstairs buzz him and say, hold on a second, let's take a look at that. But I mean, that's incredible, man. Talk about going from the highs to highs to like, wow, here we go again. You know what I mean? Another major bump in the road.
Yeah, is I'm trying to figure out why these PKs are so heavy now in general. Like, is it over? Is defenses getting overly compensated or?
I feel like it's almost like the NBA now, where like you really can't play defense on these guys. You can't
Like
touch
ticky tack
anybody.
fouls and
Yeah, man. I mean, you breathe on a guy wrong. I mean, I liked watching the game, and like, I feel like, we about to hit our 40s. I'm turning into that old man. Back in my day, I
yeah.
remember, you know what I mean? In the early 90s, man, guys were when a guy got a red card, he did some, WWF,
I was just say he kicked
type.
somebody in the back.
Yeah, exactly, man. Jumping off the top rope, jumping off somebody's shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff now is so ticky tacky, man. Just it's incredible.
So let's go back into the our golden boot, man, because I know people are asking like so with our golden boot, man. And then we're also talking about the best goalkeeper as well. Golden boot. Your prediction for golden boot?
I'll go throw out Man City, De Bruyne at Man City.
Really, you think De Bruyne's gonna win from midfield?
He's involved in a lot. He pulls the strings for that team. He's going to take all the free kicks, all the dangerous things or kicks around the box. He's going to be around those. And so, yeah,
Because he got the free kicks and all
he's
that.
a goal scoring midfielder. So I think he has a chance at it for sure.
Man, I'm thinking it might be. I think it might be Salah, man. I think it might be Salah, or you know what I'm saying.
An obvious pick. I mean, that was my original
Yeah,
pick.
yeah,
Give
and
me
then I
something.
mean on the outside looking in, I'm gonna go with Anthony Martial is my second.
A homer.
I know Homer. Anthony Martial is poised for a humongous breakout year.
Yeah. Okay.
It just sounded just like a Manchester United fan. Every year
Yeah.
somebody's poised for a humongous breakout year. This year is Anthony Martial.
I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? You're going to nominate one of your guys for every award there is, period.
No, now goalkeeper. I am, goalkeeper. I will keep it real on that one. I'm out on that one. So who you got for goalkeeper of the year?
Oh, man. I'll go a little deeper. I'll go with Pickford at Everton.
Really?
Yeah, because he's the England goalkeeper, the starter for England.
Yep.
And again, playing on that Everton team that really has a chance to make some noise. I think, he's got some good pieces around him to help him really get the clean sheets. I think he's got a great chance.
So you think Everton has a chance to really be top four? Then you saying if you're gonna pick them?
No, I'm not gonna get crazy and say top four, but I think they could prevent somebody from getting to the top.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go with I want to say Allison, but man, he just gave up 3.
Yeah.
On opening day.
We talked about the leaky defense there. They
Yeah,
didn't
I
spend
mean,
no money.
a part of me wants to say Lens, man.
Okay, that ain't a bad choice.
But at the same time, like I don't see Arsenal being top four, but I can see Lens just being a nuisance for you.
Yeah, and how
Just being
much
a
they
nuisance.
keep the ball. Arsenal keeps it so much. It's hard to score against them because they always want to go forward so much. But he will face a lot of breakaways and counterattack situations, so it can be dangerous for him as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a, woo, man. That goalkeeper one is gonna be one. So top defender. Who you
Oh,
gonna
top
shoot?
defender. You know, even after the poor showing Van Dyke, I still
I
like
mean,
Van
you
Dyke.
can't, I was gonna say the same thing. You
You know,
can't bet against black, as they say. Like you
that
just can't.
that's one that was one game.
Yeah,
One game. His body of work overall, I think he's the most steady.
I'm gonna go Trent Alexander-Arnold, man.
Wow. And what he brings, offensively as well as defensively, Trent Arnold's, he's and so young too.
Yeah,
That's what,
he's what 21, 22?
yeah, definitely under 25. He's a
Yeah,
youngster.
because he won the under 22 award
Yeah,
like 2 years ago. So I know he's under 22 or he
that's a
just turned 22.
hell of a prospect. Getting
Do
a
you
return
see
on.
them bringing him up to winger maybe or midfield?
I like him at the back. No, he's
Yeah,
dangerous,
I
man. He's
do.
dangerous. And talk about around free kicks, getting others involved, the whip, the kind of curve and pace, the deadly crosses. I mean, man, he brings so much. And he's quick, other wingers, shutting down other
Yeah,
wingers and keeping up with those guys. So no, I definitely keep him right there on that right back.
yeah. I'm gonna give a shout out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well in this situation.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And
He's
there
a
ain't
good
no
player.
homer pick on that. He
No,
can't score for shit. Like he ain't gonna score you no goals. He ain't gonna do nothing. No, but he gonna ride his dude on that side, on that right side. He just gonna ride him.
yeah. He's an athlete. He's one of those athletes where, like, yeah, you not no easy.
Harry Maguire's gonna be his ending though. Like it's not gonna look good potentially because Harry Maguire's gonna be trying to score goals and
Actually,
not
I
hit a
think
center spot.
Wan-Bissaka cleans up a lot of space for
So you said he makes
Maguire.
Harry Maguire look better. You
Yeah, he
said,
does. Because what Harry Maguire lacks in pace, Wan-Bissaka being such an athlete, is covering, is taking away that
because
space.
he's going sideline to sideline. He's going back and forth, covering
It's
everything
making
for you in that whole
Maguire
one
more
side.
effective.
One whole side, he got a whole. It's almost how Revis was, where it's like
Yeah,
I ain't got to worry about this whole right
right,
side.
right.
He gonna have up and down. He gonna be down here. He gonna be up.
Yeah, ain't
You know,
nothing happening on this side. So
you might have solved the Harry Maguire thing. No, maybe that's why he think he can try to score. I ain't got to even worry about nothing on this right side.
man, you got to get him focused. He don't know what he want. He want to go to Greece and fight and and curse and all types of stuff he got going on.
Yeah. So, but I also want to give a shout out to what's the dude from Leicester that's dope that was hurt. Leicester City that was hurt. Because they had like 7 dudes hurt by the time we played them end of last year. Let me see, what's his name? Dude was killing.
That like Ndidi?
No, Indeed is a midfielder.
Yeah, midfielder. What position is this guy?
He's a center back. Oh, you know what? I take that back. No, I'm thinking Madison, man. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh, okay.
He's a midfielder, though. I was thinking, but Madison plays that CDM, though.
Yeah.
He's back there. I mean, that's what they was hurting with in general. I was thinking Madison. Then he's not even a midfielder. He's not even a defensive player. But I mean, he's a dope defensive player, man. I like Madison in general.
Yeah, he definitely helps that club a lot.
All right, man. Let's talk about this Mpabbe thing, man. I mean, let's go into the fight. Like we just talked about this fight that happened in the streets of was it Everton or was it in Paris? This game.
I think they were in Paris, if I'm not mistaken.
So let this is live podcasting, y'all, because this literally just happened. So I'm gonna read this article. Let's see what exactly.
It was over on the Daily. I'll shoot you a link here.
I got it right now. 5 sent off in injury time. So this happened late in the game then.
Yep, it was towards the end. Yeah.
All right. So this is as he left the pitch, the Brazilian told the 4th official he had heard a racist comment. Florian Thauvin scored the only goal as PSG lost in their opening two Liga 1 game for the first time since 84-85. But a late brawl saw PSG substitute Leonardo Perisic, Laiven Kazawa, and Marcel duo Jordan Amavi and Dario Benedetto sent off along with Neymar. The rest we watched so here we go VAR. VAR replay of a punch from Neymar before showing him a straight red card. After the match, Neymar tweeted that his only regret was not hitting Alvaro Gonzalez in the face. Damn. Having struck him on the back of the head. In the post-match press conference, Marseille's manager Andre Villas-Boas said, "There is no place for racism in football, but I don't think that was the case. We'll have to look at it." So, in front of a crowd of 5,000 at Parc des Princes, that is in Paris.
Yep. Wow, man. Racism alive and well, you know what I mean? Pretty incredible stuff there. You look at that image of the players on both teams, and it's so funny. You got Brazilians, you got French players there. One of the players is he's from Slovakia. A couple of different Brazilians involved in this whole situation.
And it's the funny thing is PSG in general historically has been the more racist organization, which is the funniest part.
Yeah, and their coach Villas-Boas, he's no stranger to racism either. I mean, he coached in Italy and has been involved in the banana throwing incidents, and so he's no stranger, man, to this. And it's a sad thing to see. We were talking before we kind of went live, man. I wanted to talk about complimenting the game. What you see in the Premier League. Covering the seats, they're doing Black Lives Matter, huge messaging. The players taking a knee at the beginning of the game still. This is season number 2 now that we're seeing that. I guess they don't have fans in the stands kind of like the NFL did, but you saw what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs during a moment of silence. Just look at it. It's happening actually on the pitch now in France. So, I mean, without even, fans in the stands. So that's normally where you see a lot of the racism come from is the fans. And it's, one thing, like how do you get 20, 30, 40,000 people to kind of be on the same page mentally of what's right and what's wrong. But now you can't even, the 22 players on the pitch, keep racism out of it. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and it's interesting to happen in France too, man. Like France is a little bit. I mean, besides a couple of squads, like Cassius must be getting rowdy. And you know what? And I think that they just coming at. I think PSG's is open. I think people are just getting at them because Neymar's a hothead in general. Neymar be out there doing the most. He was doing the most in that game in the Champions League championship. He, like we talked about last week, he's running after the goalkeeper when he's got on a back pass, like he's gonna really do something. So I didn't see the game, but I just feel I can see him just being extra like that because this is his first game back too.
Right.
Because he was on because they was kicking in. What was they kicking in at Ibiza? They got COVID.
I know he was on a yacht somewhere with some, with his homies and his people from Brazil.
Half the team got COVID because of that yacht trip.
Man, incredible, man. Incredible.
So I can see him coming out there. That's my first game. I'm back, baby. I'm finna get something popping. Maybe he ain't. They may be wrong for their racial insensitivity and calling somebody out their name. But maybe Neymar was being extra out there.
I was trying to believe you, man. And with Neymar,
I'm not condoning what they did, but I can see Neymar being out there extra. Like, come on, dude, this is second game of the year, and you out here trying to cover covering all 4 of the 4 parts of the field. Like you 4 out of 4 everywhere. Like come on, man. Like we just Marseille.
Neymar,
we ain't gonna make top 4. We just trying to get a little check. I'm just trying to get my check.
Dude, you're incredible. and I wouldn't put it, I'm not saying that you're wrong with that sort of assessment, just knowing what we know of Neymar. He's not the most reserved, quiet sort of guy. So anything's possible with him. But I want to wait, hold my judgment till we get more details on actually who
he is. He's the more schizophrenic version of Pogba.
Yeah, I mean, how good is Neymar's French really at this point, knowing him?
he probably refused to learn it. I can see him refusing to learn it.
I can totally see him refusing to learn the language.
And just speaking Portuguese in the huddle.
Exactly. So, what language did they disrespect him in? You know what I mean? So,
Oh, I didn't even think about that. So, so how did you even know there was disrespect? Because you refused to learn the language.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. There can be so many miscommunications, but I think there's also a lot of nonverbal disrespect.
Oh yeah, we can
accuse as well. So.
Like look, Neymar, you were good for punching him and stuff, but I can see you acting a little bit over the top at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, Neymar is a prima donna's prima donna. You know what I mean? So he's
so
had the world at his feet.
Staying on him. With our last topic coming up, we alluded to it earlier. Because this all everybody, I know y'all like, oh man, they've been talking about Premier League and all this stuff. We're gonna talk about other leagues coming up soon, but the Premier League just started. It's the biggest league. It's the one that's popping the most.
Oh yeah, so absolutely.
Every other league is a 2-3 horse race, maybe 1 horse race. Exactly. It's no point to cover it that hard.
The Premier League is where all the players want to go. I mean, that's where you want.
Yeah, we'll talk about the other team. When Champions League get closer and we get our Champions League groups and all that, we'll be diving in. We talked about Messi for a whole half the show last week. So I mean, but now, does Neymar ask for a transfer request if Mpabbe has now? Because now he's sitting on the Titanic.
I'm starting to think, Neymar is almost like a Terrell Owens, where there's all sorts of talent is undeniable, but all the other baggage that comes along with him. I mean, really, when you have a Neymar, you got to take care of the team and take care of Neymar. You know what I mean?
He got to have his own bus, and then they got their bus.
He's got his own entourage, and he's a big time celebrity and all of his own.
Because he's got NBA players coming in your game before COVID, hanging out with you. Y'all kicking it. They on the field with you.
He's a Jordan brand athlete.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got all kind of stuff going on. So,
could you see him putting in a transfer request now? Do you, before next week's show, do you see a thing of him being like, I'm out too? Or does he be like, cool, motherfucker, like, you out? This is my squad now, though. I'll figure out somebody to plug you in.
People love talent, man, and will roll the dice on talent. So I definitely say Neymar. Somebody would spend the money, give Neymar a chance in the Premier League.
No, I'm saying when Neymar asks for a transfer request, will he be like, I'm out, or be like, oh no, this is my squad now, fully?
Oh no, I think he's leaving. I think he's gonna.
So you're past. Okay, so you already in anticipation of him being.
He's won that trophy. He's won that trophy already. So. At his skill level, why not go somewhere else, try to get a bit of a fresher start. And, the Premier League is that league that he really hasn't shown.
I was going to go back to the days of our lives, and is him going back to Barcelona, keep Messi there.
Oh, wow.
Because they're boys.
Yeah.
Does that keep him, so now like you said, we go back to the soap opera. Now, does Neymar coming back keep Messi from leaving?
Yeah,
now Real Madrid thinks they're going to get Mpabbe. Now Man City's involved because because all these dominoes affecting. You know what I mean?
Power struggle. Yeah, I wouldn't rule it out, man. I do think that he burned a lot of bridges at Barcelona. How he left. Because he kind of did it, like a thief in the middle of the night. You know? And,
he did the Indianapolis Colts when they moved from Baltimore to Indianapolis.
Had his run-ins with the law in Spain on the tax issues. So I think he still may owe taxes in Spain.
He does owe taxes. Yeah, if he comes back though, that might be a part of his contract. Like you gonna pay my taxes off for me.
Hey man,
But can Messi force their hand, or would they just be like?
I don't know.
Does Messi got that much juice?
I don't know, man.
Or does Messi not even care though? Be like, man, I don't want him. I'm ready to go to Man City.
I think the Premier League, the Man City, they've had some characters of his ilk before. So I think Man City's a really good landing spot. He's the, talking about my earlier point, he's the right age to fit in with that young talent pool that they have amassed right now.
And he could kind of be that captain. Does he automatically become the captain in Man City? Does he automatically take the captain?
I don't think he necessarily becomes the captain, but I think he becomes the talisman. He is the
Ooh.
guy that's stirring the drink.
So you say so even in the huddle, the captain is sitting listening to Messi, even though you got the patch, but
Exactly.
Messi's talking to everybody about what we gonna do.
Exactly. Oh yeah. He's gonna have his own press conference. You know what I mean? So absolutely.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm excited, man. Dude, I'm more excited about Premier League way more than it's basketball, NBA, Premier League, like right here. NFL, I forgot, dude. I didn't even draft my fantasy league. I forgot my fantasy league draft though. It went in auto mode. I mean, I'm in the league still, but it's like it was the auto mode, and it's like
a couple of guys in my office tried to get me in an NFL league, and I said, I'm gonna pass. I don't even care.
And look, and I haven't been keeping up, and I didn't even think it was coming up. And the only reason I'm in it because it's my friends from college, and it's like,
right. This is stay close.
Yeah, it's a staple. Right. We all in the same group chat,
Right.
And then my team name is all on my nutsack. I like to see that at the top of the standings.
Oh man, but I do tell you, that's something I do want to do, man. Is that FIFA 2021 is going to drop? I think it's October.
No, you know what? We need to do that. Maybe we need a show league.
Because we can set up a league on that, man. That'd be
do a show league. Yeah, we should do a show league, man. Even if we get 5, 10, 15 people, we'd do a league, and then everybody's kind of with us. Everybody play a game on maybe Sundays, and we just figure out times and stuff like that. Or if you talk to such and such, you can play on Tuesday, but this week because I got to work on just like any other. Like we schedule our shows. Like, man, you got to work on Tuesday. All right, well then let's play our game on Wednesday then.
Yeah, we can make it work for everybody when it's convenient, but I think that'd be dope. Keep us closer to the game, paying attention to how players are performing on different clubs. So that'd be something fun, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. So this week we got a lot of games coming up, man. Man, plugged into it. Like this is a beautiful time to be. There is a lot of bubbling up for Premier League soccer, La Liga. I think Champions League is going to be blown up this year. I think it's going to be stupid.
Champions League gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna.
You talking about October? That's around the corner. What the brackets drop into this month. I mean, groups drop into this month.
It's such an arms race, man. So many talented, clubs around the world, man. So it's always a dogfight, and some monkey wrenches you don't see coming.
Shout out to one of our listeners. We have a listener in the Netherlands, man. He wanted to shout us out. He tweeted me and he was like, he listened back to old episode. We said Spurs is the biggest run. He's like, no, Ajax was that same year. And then they broke down how he was like, he after seeing the tweet, he broke down like they came from qualifying round to play a second qualifying. I was like, I didn't even know Ajax went through all that. They went through every round. That you have to qualify for.
That's a really, really good point. And back to your previous point, it's that Ajax system that is what you're seeing now at Liverpool and at Bayern Munich.
Oh, you're saying they adopted an Ajax system and just moved to a bigger stage.
That's being deployed now. And talk about changing the game. He's absolutely spot on. The Dutch league has definitely been a huge influence, for a really long time, and what we're seeing right now today.
Wow, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that it went like that. Okay, wow. Yeah, shout out to you. I think the name's Dimitri. I have to look at Dimitri from Netherlands, man. And shout out to you. He's like, I know you all said that Spurs had the best run. He's like, no, Ajax, look it up. And he broke it down. He was like,
I stand corrected. I didn't think.
No, I know. I had to sit back and I was like, I tweeted him back like, no, well, I'm about to speak on the show, man. Like, no, you're right. Like, you're right. I'm about to step back on that one. You're right, man. You know. Yeah, man. So everybody email us straightolc@gmail.com, man. Dude, it's always been good, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a good show. First week in the book.
Yeah. We're going to hit you up online, though, too, man.
Yeah, definitely hit me up on Twitter, at Phoenix Piff. Definitely like any interaction, man. Talking about.
You got to get you an IG, man. Even if it's just for soccer, man. You got to get you an IG, man.
I got to get on that, man. I'm a table that had that. Try to have that already. Get my social media together for next week's show, man. Solidified across the board. But definitely we're gonna see the two Manchester clubs come back next week. So that's
yeah, man. And this is something. Before we go out. Do you think the league purposely made all these games supposed to be like overly heavily handed? Besides the mid-tier teams, like, oh, we're gonna put like, it's not like you didn't want to put, man. I mean, like, it'd be kind of dope if it was Chelsea versus Manchester United the first week Or do you want to wait? I guess they want to wait for the meet. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit longer, or do you want to start off with a bang? Or I guess.
Well, I think they gave you a little bit of bang with the champions, Liverpool, on show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but they put them against Leeds. They thought that was gonna be a massacre. That was just
yeah,
extra. That was extra good loving for us. Though we went. That wasn't supposed to happen.
performance-wise, but like I said, Leeds being a big club. I mean,
Oh, you're saying because of the name of Leeds and how Leeds was popping at one point.
there's bright lights on both sides. But
Gotcha.
your point's true too. Nobody could foresee Liverpool putting the ball in the net as much, or Leeds putting the ball in the net as much as they did. So no, that was a great show for the league overall. Sure.
All right, y'all. We will be back next week talking about some more, man. Hopefully Neymar puts in his thing on 2 weeks. As you say, this may be the name of the show. These are the days of our lives.
Oh, maybe I think we got to go with this one, man, because there's so many twists and turns. Excited for next week, man, and yeah, it's been real. Thanks for listening.
All right, y'all.